In 2019, a retail company ran a promotion that offered discounts to their most loyal customers. Loyal was defined, internally, as customers who had placed more than 10 orders in the past 12 months. The marketing team pulled the list from the database. They used the customer status column. Status 3 meant loyal. Everyone knew that. The campaign launched. The discount codes went out. 3 days later, the customer service team started receiving complaints from people who had never placed a single order. They had created accounts. They had never bought anything. But they had received a loyalty discount. The investigation found the cause quickly. 2 years earlier, a developer had extended the status system. Status 3 had originally meant loyal customer. After the extension, Status 3 meant account verified, a state that every new account reached automatically after confirming their email address. The developer had updated the application code. She had updated the documentation she knew about. She had not updated the marketing team's query because she didn't know the marketing team had a query. For 2 years, the meaning of Status 3 had been different from what the marketing team believed it was. The database had not changed. The business had, and the meaning had drifted silently in the gap between them. This is semantic drift. It isn't a bug in the traditional sense. No code is broken. No constraint is violated. The database is storing exactly what it was told to store. Semantic drift is what happens when the meaning of data changes over time, while the data itself stays the same. The column name is unchanged. The data type is unchanged. The values are unchanged. But the concept those values represent has quietly shifted to reflect a business reality that no longer matches the original definition. And because nothing in the database signals that shift, every system, query, and team that relied on the original meaning continues operating as if nothing changed. Semantic drift happens for 3 reasons. The first is business evolution. Businesses change constantly. A startup that defined active user as anyone who logged in this month becomes a mature product where active means something more specific. Completed a core workflow, generated revenue, invited another user. The definition evolves because the business's understanding of value evolves, but the column called active was written 5 years ago against the original definition. The column didn't get the memo. The second reason is team change. The person who designed the data model understood every assumption baked into every column. They knew that revenue meant gross revenue before tax. They knew that status 3 meant loyal, not verified. They knew that active excluded users who only logged in to reset their password. That knowledge lived in their head. When they left, it left with them. The columns remained. The context didn't. The third reason is integration. When 2 systems are merged, through acquisition, through partnership, through a data warehouse consolidation project, columns with the same name from different systems are assumed to mean the same thing. They rarely do. Customer in the sales system means anyone who has ever purchased. Customer in the support system means anyone who has ever opened a ticket. The merged system has one customer table. Which definition won? Often neither. A hybrid emerged that fully matches neither original, and both teams query it as if their original definition still applies. What makes semantic drift particularly dangerous is that it is invisible to the database. A type error is caught immediately. A constraint violation throws an error. A missing value produces a null. Semantic drift produces a valid value that means something different from what the reader believes. The risk model reads status 3 and calculates exposure for a loyal customer. The customer has never placed an order. The model is wrong. The database is right. The wrongness lives in the gap between the model's assumption and the column's current reality, and that gap widens slowly, invisibly, over years until a promotion goes to the wrong customers, a report contradicts itself across quarters, or an executive asks a question that 2 analysts answer differently using the same database. So how do you prevent drift from accumulating silently? The first step is to treat column definitions as living documents. not a README written once at project start and never updated. A definition that is reviewed whenever the business changes what the column represents. When a developer changes what status 3 means, that is not just a code change, it is a definition change, and it requires updating every documented consumer of that column with the same urgency as updating the code. The second step is to make definitions visible at the point of use. A developer writing a query against the status column should see its definition before they write a single condition, not in a wiki 3 clicks away. In the data catalog, in the column comment, in the schema metadata, wherever the developer is already looking when they decide what to query. The third step is to version your definitions alongside your schema. When the meaning of a column changes, create a new column with a name that reflects the new meaning and deprecate the old one. Customer status becomes customer loyalty tier for the original concept and customer account status for the new one. The separation makes the distinction explicit. The old column continues to mean what it always meant. The new concept gets a name of its own. This costs more upfront. It costs substantially less than a campaign that sends loyalty discount to every user who confirmed their email address. The fourth step, and the most important one, is an annual semantic audit. Once a year, take your 10 most critical columns, the ones that drive the most important reports, the ones that feed the most consequential models, the ones that define your key business metrics. For each one, ask 3 questions. Does the current definition in the documentation match what the column actually contains today? Does every team that queries this column understand its current definition, not its original one? Has the business concept this column represents changed in any way since the definition was last reviewed? Most organizations that run this audit for the first time find at least one column in their top 10 where the answer to one of those questions is no. Not because of negligence, because semantic drift is the natural consequence of a database that outlives the team that built it and the business context it was built for. Data that was correct when it was written does not stay correct automatically. The world changes, the business changes, teams come and go, systems are merged and extended and repurposed. The database column stays the same. And in the gap between what a column meant when it was designed and what it means today, there are decisions being made, reports being trusted, and models being run against a definition that no longer exists. Semantic drift doesn't announce itself. It accumulates quietly, over years, one small change at a time, until a campaign goes wrong or 2 numbers in a meeting disagree, or a customer who has never placed an order receives a loyalty discount and calls to find out why.